Hello, hello, hello. So this is a very short video, and the fundamental goal of humanity is that two things. First of all, each and every one of us is an individual. We have I don't know what the right word is, either a specialized, a specific, we have a specific mission. This is very, very important. You know, people that want to say that we're all the same, either they're well-intentioned and they just don't have basically, you can't blame them, but they're lacking a certain sophistication, because it's like saying the car is all the same. No, the car is not all the same. Every single part of the car is different. And without all those differences, you don't have a car. So you see, often in life, we are not, I guess you can call it, we're not that sophisticated. The brain is, or the way we're looking at reality is, we have a certain desire and then we like paint the picture around the desire. So the desire is unity. Oh, we're all the same. No. If we're all the same, then actually life is a little boring. We're all special. We're all specialized. Obviously, a man has talents that a woman doesn't have. A woman has talents that a man doesn't have. The two of them together are the ultimate complement. And every person, every nation brings to the table various different qualities that the whole world needs. So the first thing in life is you have to discover what is your talent. If I could use myself as an example, I mean, I guess I pretty much almost accidentally discovered that I have this talent. But it turns out that perhaps in the world, in this one area, but that area is very important, I may be the most talented. And I don't want to like quote Einstein, but you know, Einstein said that he couldn't understand why people made a big fuss out of him. I saw the equation, the mathematical equation, E equals mc squared, is probably the most famous equation. So Einstein is like, it's simple, it's just math, and he shows you the math. So it turns out that Einstein had in the place in the brain for mathematical abilities, it was enlarged. He just had really good mathematical abilities. So for him, coming up with these ideas was nothing. But that was his gift. And by using his gift, he gave the world a gift. And so you have to like discover what is the thing that you're really good at. Now, generally, because this is not about being PC, it's about being truthful, the thing that women are super good at is basically raising children. It's not easy. A psychologist once told me that basically, like for a man, let's say you're going to your job. So it's not that difficult, because even if the job, let's say, is a little difficult, but it's a single focus. But when you're raising children, remember when my wife went away once for 2 weeks and she put food in the freezer and I took the kids out for supper. By the time she was coming back, I was like ready for a nervous breakdown. Why? Because it's so many different things. You got to go, 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 go. I remember Mrs. Obama saying that Oprah did the world a real service by introducing him to America. But anyway, so it was on that original show. So he's a real arrogant guy speaking about his great importance. And she was like, yeah, if you had to like basically do what I do, your brain would explode. And obviously she knows him. So the point is that that's a capacity that women have. And women actually have, as our sages say, Bina Yasera, greater, if you want to call it intuition. They're able to deal with details better than men. Men are better at, let's say, courage or fighting or conquest, but women are better at kind of emotions and taking care. You know, I watched some of my sisters, the way they're dealing. You see, men don't often realize is that women are taking care of the emotions of the family, making sure that everyone's emotionally okay. It's not an easy thing to do. So anyway, the point that I'm trying to say is that is obviously the ultimate goal of a woman, to raise children, which obviously is the greatest legacy that you're perpetuating the world. And these kind of crazy ideas that are trying to say, no, woman. I remember I was in Germany. I saw this poster from the UN. A woman is in all the places except for the home. But actually, these kind of societies are actually going to disappear based on statistics. Some of them have reached a point of no return because you need, I think, 1.7 children per woman just for a society to continue. So these are delusions of insanity, which do not, as the Rebbe says, when a person has a talent and they use that talent. Now, obviously, if you can't have children, you can't have children. There are other gifts that you can bring to the world. And just having children doesn't mean you're restricted to any gift to the world. But what it does mean is that this is the greatest gift. And when you can do the greatest thing, I mean, what could be greater than actually bearing life? Nothing. And so when you do the greatest gift, then you feel the greatest thing about you. And that's the same thing, if I may say, about myself. I discovered I have a talent in taking Jewish mysticism and making it inspirational, making it kind of very simple, user-friendly. I've put out many books and I've put out many blogs and stuff like that. So the point is that it's a benefit to humanity. There are many people that benefit to this. Why do I do it? I do this because it makes me feel good. This is my meaning in life. So God gave me a gift, and if I use that gift, this makes me feel, like I say, the greatest gift that God has given us is the ability to give gifts. And the final thing I want to conclude is every single generation has a mission. The mission of our generation, every generation also has a Moses, an incarnation of Moses, and our generation is obviously the Lubavitch Rebbe. And he told us, I'm not going to go too much into all the details, but he told us very clearly, our mission is to bring Mashiach. And there are a number of things that you can do to bring Mashiach. And I'm guaranteeing you, absolute guarantee, I've never done this before, give a summary of the things that you can do. If you do these things, you can bring the Mashiach. The first thing is happiness. It's a simcha peretz geder. If you have no worries. Worry is the opposite of happiness. But if you have complete faith in God that everything is good and everything will be good, everything He's doing is for the good, and all I have to do is more good, then you will bring Mashiach, because your happiness will kind of, it goes beyond the limitations. Galus really is a constriction, feeling constricted, feeling restricted by fear. But if you get beyond that fear, you realize you are good, the world is good, all you got to do is more good, that will bring the Mashiach, then you will actually do that. The other thing is that you have to dedicate your life, you have to be a non-profit. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't make profit, but the reason you're making profit is to give profit. So the point is that if your whole life is about taking, that's not the goal of life. Again, that's a constricted mentality that I'm not good enough, I have to have more to look good. You have to know, I have to have more to give more. The purpose of life is to give. So you have to see yourself as an agency of goodness and kindness. I'm a goodness and kindness agency incorporated, or non-profit incorporated. And when you do that, you also you go into that expansive mode. And so that's basically what it takes to bring Mashiach. Two simple things. It's very, 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 very simple. The Yetzer Hara, the Satan, will do everything in his power to give you false worries, which constrict you instead of making you happy and expansive, and make you think, oh, I need this, I want this, other people have it, be jealous. But nobody is happy, as we have a lot of people with a lot of money, we have a lot of statistics. People are not happy from fame and fortune. It's absolutely not the case. I was a rabbi in a resort town. I had a lot of very, I don't know if you call it famous people, but wealthy people. It doesn't make you happy in the slightest. Happiness comes from that expansive attitude that I am a non-profit, I'm a giver. And when you think about others, when you think outside of yourself, not inside, then and only then are we going to be truly happy and truly bring the Mashiach b'meheira v'yameinu mamish.